It first started off as Ishkibeha, which is the Gaelic way of saying whiskey. And then it go down to Ishki, and now you say whiskey.
If he only has 3 years left, he's going to have to go big on after. He's going to go after it.
Well, people talk about that Bill doesn't want to bring in a mobile quarterback because he likes the old way. I don't think that's legit. I don't think that is because he brought Cam.
So we're back, another episode of the Dan and Ninko Show, episode 91. Really?
91?
Is it 91? Wow, just cruising along with these things here. But in today's episode, we're going to change things up a little bit here. We're not going to do the beer. We all love IPAs. I know that. We love beer. What about some whiskey? How about some Irish whiskey today? And today, that's why not? We got Captain Insano here to drive me home just in case he's going to sample. He's here to sample. My nephew Cameron, he's only 20. He can't have any samples. But anyway, so we're here with Brendan from Powers Irish whiskey, right? And he brought some swag, some bottles to go through a little bit. So this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to taste some of it. We're going to go through it, and he's going to give us a little background on just Powers in general, where they came from, origination, where they started, how old they are, all that stuff.
Walk through the
We'll go through the bottles. And we'll see. I've never had any of this. I promise I won't make the cringe face like I did with the beer the one time. This is the good stuff, baby. This is the good
Rocky
stuff.
Road.
The Rocky. Who wants freaking Rocky Road beer? Who wants chocolate beer?
You asked for it and drank it.
Well, they offered it, but I appreciate the offer. Thank you so much. Anyway, so Brendan, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
I feel like I am looking at a mirror of myself. That beard is luxurious, but you have way better hair. I am envious of your hairdo. I would love.
That's like the one thing you look at.
Oh
the hair.
Man, he's got glorious hair. He looks like a Kennedy. It's just flowing right now.
Thank you. Yeah, we're both good-looking guys.
Yeah, handsome.
Yeah, we're good-looking people. What can I say?
What's it like, Dan?
Yeah,
not being so handsome.
I got more hair than you got.
just not on the head, right? It's all right. Captain Insano says hair don't make the man.
Mine's real though.
The name's Mike.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Sorry about that. So yeah, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
Next week, we're actually going to do I got to talk to Dana White. I got to shoot a text out to him. Hopefully we can get it done. They're having the MMA fights,
Gallons fights
at Encore in Boston. So it'd be really cool if we can get this done, do another thing with Powers there. They're going to have some swag and also the fights with Cater. Cater's putting on, it's not UFC though. What is it exactly?
It's his own thing. It's, what's the name of it, TJ?
Combat Zone.
Yeah.
So
he's had a couple at Encore now. This one's a big one because Dana White's going to do his podcast, and then what they do is they come out and they pick a fighter from that event that'll go into the UFC.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, so let's dive into this thing.
Cool.
So we got a bag here of bottles. It's a bag of bottles. The first one I'm gonna grab is this Shanky's Whip.
Yeah, so Shanky's Whip is a Irish whiskey cordial. It's pretty delicious. It's Irish whiskey base, and then we infuse it with natural flavors of vanilla, some caramel, some butterscotch flavoring. So it's a great kind of gateway into whiskey for, like I said, anyone from 21 plus to your nana. It's smooth. It's delicious. You can go into an espresso martini. You can chill it, shoot it, put it in your cereal. It's good stuff.
Pancakes?
Pancakes. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we actually have a lot of people putting that in their batter or infusing it with their maple syrup. So start your day off right.
This looks awesome. All right.
So that's out of a county
You have
cabin.
the little bottle too of it.
Yeah. The little one?
You have the little one.
Yeah, we
Same
get our
thing.
medicine bottle. So
Someone had some of it.
wonder who that was.
Who had a little Shanky's? Huh, Mike? Michael, guilty as charged?
I had to try it. You know I'm a sampler.
I know, you are a sampler. Well,
A taste test.
a taste test, yeah. Only guy you go to the grocery store, the second you get home, everything's open to sample. You have to sample.
Yeah, and it's 11 o'clock, so if you don't start in the morning, you can't drink all day if you
Why
don't
not?
start in the morning.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so the next bottle we have, so this is the
So that's our Powers Rye.
Powers Rye.
Yeah, just hit the States last month. It's the only 100% Irish rye mash bill there is. So it's only available in Ireland and the U.S. It's available any store in the Northeast and mostly the entire U.S. So pretty cool. Just some nerd stuff on that. That's going to be aged in ex-bourbon barrels, virgin barrels, and multiple use barrels. So 3 different types of barrels, and all the rye is grown in Ireland. So pretty cool. Where you guys have American rye, that stuff's going to be coming predominantly from Indiana. And this whole different flavor profile, and it's triple distilled, so it's going to be just a whole different flavor. So the notes on that, I guess should we start trying some as we talk through them, or do you want to
try
taste them? So you got
Let's
some
try
little
this
plastic
one.
cups there.
We got little cups here.
I just realized that Powers is actually made from where my family's from in Ireland, in Cork.
Really? Yeah. Cork, Ireland.
Yep.
All right.
And I'll make sure to drink some with you guys too.
Let's see.
So we'll use the same glasses, I guess.
Captain Insano, come on, have a little sample. All right. Here. And then this is. All right, here. Come try it. Come on. Let's see. He used to be a professional at sampling. Used to be. Not anymore.
A sampler.
Sampler. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little Irish toast. Here's to you live forever and I never die.
Okay, that's a good one. I've heard that a few times in my life.
Never gets old.
Never gets old.
No, but we can even go through for the fans out there. Beer is it all starts off as beer, and then we distill it, right?
Yeah.
So then we put it in barrels. But 2 sips, open your palate, chew your whiskey.
Helps with the sinuses.
Yep.
That's actually really good.
So we should get some some orange, some mandarin kind of flavors.
I like the
The finish is really good.
yeah, it's a smoother finish on it. So here's a good question that a lot of people, if they're not into whiskeys or bourbon, all that stuff, all the different types of.
Sure.
Would you just pour this and drink it straight up, or would you put a little, like a rock in it? Like, how do most
Great
people?
question. Yeah. So really, with whiskeys, any way you please is what they say.
Yep.
But for this one, you can make this into a nice Manhattan to kind of get you going. Putting a rock in there does a great thing too. Kind of brings the proof down. I just drink it straight, usually with a beer on the side, and sip it, or soda water. But yeah, I think you can also do stuff for a black Manhattan, where you add a little Amaro to it. That's with the rye. So the rye is pretty versatile. People that aren't into Irish whiskey yet, this is a great gateway into it. Is the rye? What do you guys think? Pretty good.
It's very good.
Really good.
Yeah. That is really good.
And ryes are typically, you guys are from Indiana, they're going to be spicy, hot.
Yeah, hot.
Right?
It doesn't. It's not very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially not at the end.
You take one of those, you take a sip, and you're like, oh, I'm on fire. Like you're burning, your throat's on fire. Like you're just down in a,
Not this at all.
No, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
We can't throw stuff under the bus here. Come on, this is like this, like that.
Not for you. Yeah. And then the next one up is going to be the Powers Gold. So that's going to be the Old Faithful.
Powers Gold.
So this is the one that most people know. Probably haven't tried it, but they've seen it. It's one of the #1 selling Irish whiskeys in Ireland. This is going to be barley base, column still, and pot still. Ex-bourbon barrels, 5 to 7 years old in our barrel blends. This is going to be a whole different animal versus the rye because, again, the rye is, if you think about making it like a cereal or you're making bread, it's delicious, though.
I just pulled it straight up and or do it that way. So this one, this one, how old is this one?
So that one's going to be 5 to 7 years old aged, but
Got it.
Powers as a brand is 232 years old out of Ireland.
Wow.
So they've been making Irish whiskey for a long time. It's delicious stuff. There, you can give me a pour. How about you, Michael? You want some too? Yeah. You want some? Yeah. All right.
I got another cup here.
We don't want to leave any more out.
He likes a little more than a taste.
So,
right?
yeah. You'll hear people say aqua vitae, which is what they call whiskey, the water of life. And so it first started off as ishkebeha, which is the Gaelic way of saying whiskey. And then it go down to ishki, and now you say whiskey. So,
Ishki.
So ishkebeha is the
Ishkebeha.
Ishkebeha is the true
Ishkebeha.
way. So
Yunga Munga, okay.
That's like smooth.
Ow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're almost 232 years old and you haven't even tried it yet. You know, it's pretty good stuff. And you gotta try it.
How is that possible? I've never had this.
Yeah.
That's actually really
good. So Powers, when did they come over and start selling?
So it's been here kind of forever. And then when Prohibition happened in the U.S., the Powers stopped coming over. Some priests were able to bring it over because they said it was for medicinal use. And, people that let that stuff pass. And then when the U.S. opened up Prohibition again, it was still strong, but Jameson kind of took over the market. And us being in New England, the big Irish heritage, everyone went to Jameson. But Powers is just delicious. Old as gold is kind of something we talk about. It's for $32 a bottle. It's fantastic.
Really good.
That was good.
It's a sleeper.
That is really good. Okay, so the next one. We are going to go, so this one was...
Yeah, so this one's going to be our 3 Swallows. You can see the swallows on there. That's going to be 5 to 7 years old, all pot still whiskey. About 5% of that we finish off in Oloroso barrels. So it's going to be bourbon barrels, and then we also have Oloroso and we blend them together. So you're going to get, that's going to be a different flavor profile. The Dead Rabbit in New York, one of the number one selling Irish whiskey bars in the world. This is their staff pick.
Yeah,
is the 3 Swallows.
Dead Rabbit. I was there like a couple weeks ago. It's like right down the street from where I work. It's like a cool bar.
Yeah,
and so they have like Powers is.
Yeah, it's a staple there. Yeah,
wow.
But that is one of their fan favorites. It's called 3 Swallows because also the guys that drove the carriages in Dublin. So there'd be 3 guys in the carriage driving the whiskey from the warehouse to warehouse. They each would take 3 shots or 3 drams. Each take a sip of whiskey before they hopped on the buggy. So that's the whiskey story. This one, the note on this is going to be.
I like the Ishki story too.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
Ishki turned into whiskey.
Yep.
Let me have a little baby taste.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Give him a little baby one.
Perfect.
So this.
Yeah, and the flavor profile on this is.
Don't you like the testing?
You're going to get oatmeal cookie with a citrus vanilla glaze. That's the
oatmeal.
That's what they say.
That actually sounds wonderful.
Cookies. This one.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah. So this is pretty nice.
Let's see.
The smell is completely different.
Different animal.
It doesn't. I don't have like it's very smooth.
That's really smooth.
They're all smooth.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. This is dangerous.
Yeah, you can kind of dive into it. And again, the triple distillation versus the Scotch is going to be predominantly double.
So this has the little bit. This compared to these has a little bit more heat.
Yep.
That's
the rye because it's the
rye.
rye.
Yes,
it's
the
grain,
rye.
the grain
yes,
being used.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's
but
got a little more
it's
heat.
a heat, but it's not.
It's not bad.
Like,
but it's just compared to these.
Yeah, these are a lot.
These are
smoother.
just like
they're smooth.
Like
you get
silk.
that caramel, vanilla.
The orange one is really smooth.
Yeah. Some buttery notes to it. And I go through those like nerdy things I say because when you're trying to pick out what
really
you're tasting, you're like, you're saying smooth, like, oh, I get vanilla, I get caramel.
Yeah.
You're picking up some of these flavors because you think about bread, like cornbread, rye bread, barley bread, and that kind of brings you to where that is.
this one has the citrus. You said this one had citrus. Mm-hmm. Like you can kind
citrus
of
note, like a baking, like if you were to put like
the
frosting.
peel or something.
Yeah,
like a little bit of the
like a rind.
Yeah.
That's what you kind of get there, and then because it had some of that sherry as well. So it's that when we're doing our blending, but it's pretty tasty stuff.
And then this one's similar. Like you could make
this one. The best way to drink it is neat. Rocks, because as we get into
you don't want to water it.
Yeah, it's like kind of like that's why you can make if you want to do an Irish coffee with the Powers cold or cocktail as well. The rye, same thing. But as you get up to like that 3 Swallows, that's something you have neat. Maybe a Guinness next to it. A cider, just enjoying it. You could even do like an orange peel in that with a rock. That would taste good as a garnish. Or you could even throw a cherry in there, just something to sip on. You could build a cocktail with it, but I think the base spirit's pretty good that you don't need to.
No, you don't need them. Not at all.
So I know this is completely off track of what we're saying, but that's how my brain works. Consider you just said serving it neat.
Oh boy.
So we were down in Naples recently, took the family down there, and we met up with a couple. We went out in Naples. We went to a restaurant. He picked up the tab for the restaurant. I'm like, okay. So we went to a bar. I was like, I got the bill. Don't worry. I'm going to take this, right? So he orders four. He orders 4 margaritas. Margaritas, right? I get another round. So it's 8 margaritas. I go to pay. It's $400. $400. So I go, what the hell kind of tequila did you make margaritas with? And it was the bottle that you can hit the top and it's got the metal.
Casa Azul.
Yeah. Who the hell makes margaritas with Casa Azul?
That's dumb.
Stupid.
Which color bottle was it?
It was
the white and blue.
The white and blue.
Okay, at least it was the entry level version of it.
Yeah, it's. I think that's a good point too. Where like you're not. Is he technically wrong? No, it's like but at the same time,
it's
like you're losing the spirit in that cocktail for what that is. So why not use something?
There's no difference in taste.
Really, something you're losing it in the.
You're losing it.
Yeah, if you were doing that, like if he did that as like a even soda water with like a splash, whatever it is,
still get
a premium cocktail.
It's not like putting a mixer and you throw a margarita mix with Casa Azul, and it's like what?
Yeah.
And I think that's where you got to know, like, kind of educate yourself on. You don't need to necessarily do that. Good for him that he did that, but at the same time, like,
I think he was trying to get back at me for he
had
picked up dinner.
I mean, did you even offer to pick up the dinner?
Yeah, he did.
Like
I
after
swear,
he paid,
I didn't
though?
do the T-Rex arms. I was like, let's split it.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Hold on. No, but anyway, that's something that people have to realize. If you have a certain alcohol that just needs to be neat, you don't mix it or put something in it that's going to ruin like exactly what you're buying it for. So this is really good.
That's the equivalent of doing a well done steak. If you get like a really nice steak, and then someone decides to like,
let me get a fillet.
Or they say, hey, let me take that steak and throw it in a blender and make hamburgers out of it. You're like, what are we doing? That's kind of what they did with the margarita.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's a great point though. I think as when you're feeding friends whiskey, there's guests and there's those family members that like they might get
that's like a Pappy's. It's like a specialty bottle.
Yeah. You kind of got to know. You're going to be in the know.
You got to be like in a, this is a big deal.
Pappy's is very overrated, though.
Yeah.
Pappy's is.
Yeah. I mean, Pappy's 10, 15 years ago. You
Pappy's
just went to
is
the liquor store,
basically
it was sitting there.
Buffalo Trace.
It's a weeded bourbon.
It's
what you're gonna get. It's
good.
People want what they can't get, and they want to
that's
show
what
off
it
this.
is.
But the cool thing is, like, when you are trying stuff, like, again, even like these powers, like you're going to be out on St. Paddy's Day, and someone's like, "Oh, I have, I have some Middleton, I have some Redbreast, or something like that," and they're like, "Hey, try this," or somebody's doing some fun shots, and you're like, "Hey, here's some Shankies, try this," or whatever it might be. But having that knowledge and kind of giving people what they don't know they need is kind of like the fun thing when you're hosting a party or you're out at the bar. In my opinion, I think it's the knowledge is there.
So I love that how that difference in that
I
is.
like that one, yeah.
This one's super smooth.
Yeah.
They're all freaking good.
The Three Swallows has a better taste profile to it, though.
Yeah.
Even afterwards.
And then this
it's
one,
still really good.
What's this?
So that's
John's Lane.
John's Lane. So that's going to be where Powers originated. John's Lane's the guy that started it. And you're going to see this one is the closest thing to having Irish whiskey in the 1700s. So really pretty cool the way it's aged, the way it's made. This is something that you can really nerd out with, where you walk into a place and people want to show off some whiskey knowledge you might have. Order one of these. You can have it neat. Have it with some ice on the side. I always suggest having ice on the side because some bartenders might just fill it full of crappy ice, and you want to make sure you pay attention to your whiskey clean. This again is going to be 12 years old, and it's going to be ex-bourbon barrels, also with a 10% of the blend in the Oloroso as well. So sips really nice. Really can't beat it here.
Yeah.
The youngest. So the law is the youngest whiskey is 12 years old. There could be 15, 16, but the way the laws are written, the youngest whiskey to go into it has to be called that. So you could have this could be all 20-year-old with 12.
I love the smell. This one's like.
Need one more for Michael. No problem.
This one is. I think this one's gonna be right up my alley.
Yeah. And I think they always say like no great story ever got told over water or So this is a great storytelling whiskey too. So
does this have like a caramel type? Like what is the?
I say caramel.
Caramel.
Yeah.
That's the Midwest.
I'm a Midwest guy. My wife would say caramel. She's from Louisiana.
So you're typically going to get caramel. You're going to get some vanilla notes. You're going to get some tropical fruit notes on it too. When I say tropical fruit, you're going to get like kind of like jammy, some like strawberry jam, some fruitiness.
I like
this.
It's
really good.
This one's dangerous because I could just drink a gallon of this one, and then we get really crazy on the pod.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference in price in the bottles?
So the Powers Gold and the rye are about line priced, about $32. So you'd say the gold and green right there.
Yep.
And then you have the Three Swallows is going to be your next one in the mid 40s range. Then we get to the mid 50s in the 12-year. I think about when you think about why you're paying for some of that stuff. When something's been sitting in a warehouse for 5 years, 7 years, 12 plus,
earning no money.
You don't even know if it's going to come out good sometimes. Pretty interesting. And then the Shankies is about $26.99.
So with the bourbon barrels themselves, where do they source? Like, do they seek like bourbon? Because
So I hear what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep. So what you're asking is where do they get the bourbon barrels?
Yeah.
How do they find them? So the rules for bourbon, they have to be virgin cask, freshly toasted. So that like barrel behind you, right there, that was never used. Right. So the cooperages and down in Tennessee, Indiana, they go ahead and Kentucky, and they go ahead and make that first time, char it inside, put the bourbon in. Can only be used first time, one time. They dump it out. Then they say to make bourbon again, you have to then get a new barrel, freshly done. So the excess barrels, you can put rye in it. They take those down, they collapse them, and then they make them and like palletize them, and they ship them to the UK, Ireland, Scotland, down to the Caribbean to do rum casks. The rye, there is no law for rye in the U.S., so that one you can do ex-bourbon barrels as well. So really pretty cool with that. And the reason they char them, just kind of some nerd stuff, is that it took a long time to make those barrels, right? So you might have put manure in them, you might have put fish in them. So, Dan's over here making his beer went bad. He's about to distill it. He's like, where are we going to put it in? You and me are like, let's just toast these barrels because they have some gross stuff in them. Toasted them, put the whiskey in it, and then we said, all right, we're going to go down the Ohio River or Mississippi, and we're going to go sell these to some guys. And as they go down, it starts to age, and it goes in clear like water, comes out brown. So that's how the aging kind of started to happen by accident. And then in the UK, they were using all sherry barrels at one time, but there was a beetle problem that ate all the sherry, that ate all the grapes. So then in the mid 1900s, they brought all the bourbon casks over to the UK to start doing scotch and stuff. So some fun facts of why we use that stuff.
So after they use the barrel, like it's the second time. So these are one use, and then somebody picks them up. How many times can they use those again?
So you can use them tons of times. A lot of times, I think after the fourth fill, a lot of people re-char them. So you let them dry out a little bit. You re-toast them. So you might see that picture of a flame come up. Put the liquid back in there. You can take staves away. So like a stave is those single pieces of wood. Mm-hmm. If you take let's just say you take 8 to 12 staves out of that makes it into a quarter cask. So then when you see quarter cask whiskey or a certain fill, that means that the whiskey's touching, more surface area of the barrel. So you're gonna get more of a woody finish. So,
dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Or like all the little science to it.
There's a huge science to it.
It's a lot of it's trial by error though. Cause when you I always say it's like baking. So when you make your whiskey, it's baking. So what does that mean? Like you just can't go ahead and make brownies at 800 degrees. They're not going to work. It has to be a consistent recipe of how to make it. When it gets to the aging process and the barreling, that's when you can get creative, like cooking, where you can try different temperatures and do things. But most of the stuff is trial and error. Where if we were going to pack up a bunch of horses at one time, or a horse and buggy, and put as much whiskey onto a wagon as we could, we might put all quarter casks in there, and then it tastes a little different. And then it's a fun story with the proof. People used to say proof it, prove to me how much the whiskey is, because that story was saying when you're heading down the river and we pull up to sell the barrels, people would line it up with gunpowder. You pour the whiskey on top, and if it lights on fire, you proof that it's over 100 proof or 90 proof to work. Otherwise, if it didn't light on fire, we knew that you were bullshitting me. And so
that's wild.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff is it's it's wild stuff. Yeah, and in Ireland, just kind of we're talking about it, the monks made Irish whiskey. So the Irish were the first to make the whiskey. Then the Scots came over and stole the monks and hijacked them to make Scottish whiskey. So they used to fight back and forth, and that's the stories you hear of. So the Irish were first to do it, and then when our families came from Ireland over here, they all went to go be farmers. And what'd you do with your excess grain? You made beer, and then if the beer wasn't very good, you then made it into whiskey. So that's where all the bourbon and the rye came from. So these guys just came from Ireland and Scotland into the U.S. and started making whiskey. So it all started with Irish whiskey. So
that's incredible. It's so crazy how everything's so scientific, but literally they figured out like the color change by trying to sell the barrels, and it's so of all these, what's the highest proof is the highest alcohol?
So we'll let you do the quick math. So when you see the percentage, I believe
so this is 92.
Yep. So 92 on that, and then the
86.
The three.
80. Was that 60? That's 66.
Yep.
And then this one's got to be pretty. This one's 86.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the John's Lane, and then the yeah.
There's no way they drank this stuff in the 1700s, though.
Yeah, that's the closest thing.
This is like really good.
I
was expecting it to be like
they probably would drink anything in the.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like harsh and all that. It's not. It's really good.
I mean, think about what they were dealing with. They didn't shower.
People went blind.
Just drink. Just drink as much as we can.
But what else were you doing?
Yeah,
like you didn't have.
Well, think about it this way. New England, for example, you go any place around here, and you see a piece of property, and you see a 3 to 4 foot stone wall that just goes in just down the middle of somebody's property. And you're like, okay, so that person that wanted to build that wall literally had a horse and buggy and rocks and just built a 3-foot wall for a mile. Hell yeah, they're gonna freaking drink whatever it is afterwards. That's insane to me.
Yeah, and there was a lot of guys that their professional job was blending too. So when you go over there, they would get different casks and stuff, and then once you had a good recipe, you could stick with it. But
whiskey's getting you already there.
No, I like this one. This one's like this.
Really
I'm a bourbon. I love bourbon, right? So I can just taste the difference. Like with this one, you almost have that bourbon-ish feel to it. They're all really good, but this one, it's the dark. I like the darker stuff.
So it's going to be aged a little bit longer. That 12 years is going to, the whiskey's going to interact with the wood. You're going to get some more of that deeper caramel note. I think the gold is a great thing to share with your friends and family. But when it's for you sipping with people that enjoy whiskey, the 12's the way to go. And the price point, like I said, for $30 for Powers Gold, it's a great thing to share. And if you're at the bar, kind of to your point, if you're going to make an Irish coffee, it's a great spirit to have. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if we're going to sit and have it neat, have some of the other stuff. And if you're going to make a cocktail or just do some shots, you could do, the Irish cordial as well. So, yeah, pretty versatile of the stuff that can happen.
Is Powers is this basically the whole lineup with what they're doing?
Yeah, that's the whole lineup with Powers. So, just because
like Irish cream or anything.
No, just really traditional. Kind of if it's not broke, you don't have to fix it, right? Yep. I mean, that Powers, for generations. Like we talking about your family from there. When you go, if you head down to New York City, you'll talk to anyone from Ireland. It's just they have a story about Powers. I ran into this woman. Her great grandfather sold off a part of their lot to the distillery, just for some money, at the same time, he's like, if I'm going to sell to somebody, it's going to be to the Powers, we're going to make whiskey. And then he had a little thing where you go in and get some free samples. And it's pretty cool. And then, but it's one of those brands you just got to try it. And there's so much Irish whiskey out there that some of it doesn't always taste that great. Just like there's tons of bourbons and stuff. But when you try this, it really holds up on its own. And people that know definitely know.
I tell you what,
it was excellent.
It is, and the AC, we got to kick that AC on because I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot with this Irish whiskey, but it's good. It's really good. You look like you played football. I don't know. You look like you
play a little bit. Yeah.
Play a little bit. You offensive lineman?
Well, first started off as a tight end. Realized I didn't have hands. Put my hand down. Then played a little D line, but ended up sticking to right tackle. So
tackle.
Yep.
Guys that look like us, we'll start you off at tight end.
Yeah.
And then they'll move you after that. That's what happened to me anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of they get you in. And yeah. But definitely
that's really
a run game guy.
Well, on the show, we also like to talk about a little bit of sports here. Yeah. And since we're here, enjoying our Powers Irish whiskey, there's a few things I want to talk about.
Oh, boy.
What the hell is going on with these quarterback prices?
It's crazy.
Are you freaking kidding me? Because I want to go play quarterback. I want to just like my 6-year-old. I just want to make sure you're going to be a quarterback. I don't care what else you want to do. Danny Dimes, how much did they pay him?
It's $42 million a year.
$41 million a year for a guy that might suck.
He threw 15 touchdowns last year.
Captain Insano's getting hot.
It's getting hot.
You getting hot?
My next one will be that little baby smooth stuff.
Just think
we're going to pass him the Shankies.
Oh, he wants the Shankies?
Yeah, he wants the Shankies.
Yeah.
You want some Shankies?
Yeah, he likes the Shankies.
Don't drop it.
I'm not trying to catch it.
Don't drop it. You're good.
All right.
Good
Just think Daniel Jones gets $2.8 million for every touchdown he throws.
That makes me sick. That makes me sick. Here's my thing. Here's my problem. Daniel Jones is going to make $41 million?
I think it's $41 million.
And Lamar Jackson is going to make 30. He's going to franchise him.
No.
He's not. He's done. He's not playing there. Lamar Jackson will not be a
the
Baltimore
exclusive
Raven.
rights.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
The non-exclusive. They put the non-exclusive.
Yeah, the non-exclusive. But what it is he can go negotiate with another team.
He's gone.
He's gone. Well,
he's gone.
They can.
Somebody's going to pay him.
They can match it.
They can match it.
They're not going to match it. They're not going to match it. I'm telling you.
I think they did it strategically because they were so far away in numbers, so they just said, "Okay, fine, we're going to put the tag on you. You go negotiate, and they're just going to match whatever deal he gets."
I think it is like
so many teams dropped out of of even talking to him right now. Every quarterback needy team almost dropped out.
Well, I mean, personally, the thing that I wouldn't want is a fully guaranteed contract with Lamar, considering he just hurt his PCL, he hurt his ankle the year before. So, for me, if I was an owner, and money is no object for these guys, but they're also very smart. That's why they have all this money. They're trying to make sure that the investment. The Browns, they screwed up. They fully guaranteed the quarterback the money, which screws everything up here for the rest of these teams. Lamar, my biggest concern with Lamar is injuries. He hasn't finished the last 2 seasons. He wasn't there in the playoffs when you needed him. And in the next 5 years, at Lamar in his 10th season, is Lamar going to be a pocket-style quarterback? Like, there's no way he's going to change into something else. He's a mobile quarterback. If you're a linebacker or defensive lineman, you see a guy like that, you're going to want to drop weight on him. You're going to want to hit him. He has been contacted more than anyone else in the NFL since he was drafted. He's been hit more than anyone else, which is crazy to think that through running backs, receivers, he's been tackled and contacted more than anyone else. So for me, I wouldn't pay him that money. I just think it's ridiculous.
You're going to pay Daniel Jones all that money, though.
They're both morons. Well, and the Saints might as well just go back to 2004 and just put the freaking bag on their head again. Because paying Carr 60 plus, like he's going to make $60 million this year.
Yeah, they
paid Drew Brees a 6-year, $60 million contract.
Yeah, at one point, that's what quarterbacks got, though.
But for the Giants, though, you're talking about they're designing their offense around a pocket passer. So if he does go down, the rest of the team is built to succeed. The Ravens, though, that's a tough thing where you're getting those guys in that your offensive line is now based off mobility and doing certain things. Can you get another quarterback to fit that style?
I just don't. I don't think.
Well, I think they're going to. I don't think
the Ravens don't. I don't think they're going to get them. I don't think they're going to match it because
they don't match it. What they're going to do is they're going to go take some of the picks, trade up, and get that Richardson kid from Florida.
I could see Miami making a deal for him. I could see Miami doing that, giving them 2 firsts, a fully guaranteed contract. How much money? They said they're out. Miami?
Yeah,
the Dolphins
said they were out on Lamar. Yeah,
really?
Because they believe in Tua, is what McDaniel says.
Tua shouldn't even play anymore. He's
he got his brain is not.
Yeah, no.
Right.
No, he's hit his head 3 times. He had to he should be done.
Well, Mike McDaniel's probably feels bad because it was all his fault. So he wants to.
Mike
McDaniel's
hang on to is in another world too.
Yeah. Daniel Jones' contract, by the way, with incentives, goes to $50 million a year.
And Tom Brady's coming back now. He's like, why the hell would I retire when I could go make another $50 million or 40, whatever he's going to make? If you brought him back for a year, he's going to make $30 million.
Who?
Tom Brady.
He only made 25 last year.
Only 25.
And he doesn't get.
You're saying comparison.
But I'm saying if he's on the couch and somebody's like, "Hey, we'll give you $30 million," he might.
He can't come back. That would be like just the biggest credibility hit ever.
I guess he does have $375 million waiting for him in Fox, which isn't a bad deal. Just to talk about football, not bad.
He ain't. He's not coming back.
You don't think he's coming back? No, I don't.
It would be too much of a PR hit for him to come back.
What do you think?
Again.
What do you think about Carr? What do you think?
It's just tough because what are quarterbacks getting now? So like, did you overpay? Carr's a better than average quarterback. Right?
Would you rather Jimmy Garoppolo or Carr?
Carr.
He's game manager.
Yeah.
He's not hurt. Hasn't hurt.
Garoppolo gets hurt all the time.
He gets hurt when a guy steps on his ankle and freaking he broke his ankle or foot, whatever it was last year. That's like sometimes out of your control.
Weren't you there the year with the Patriots that he refused to go in to start and Jacoby Brissett had to go in with the torn ligaments?
He dislocated his elbow or his shoulder or his collarbone.
That's not what everybody's saying though.
I was on that. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there that year.
But Brissett had to play with like a torn ligament in his hand.
No, he didn't.
His throwing hand.
That's not true. That's not true.
Fake news.
Just telling you, it's fake news. He actually hurt his hand in the one game that he played, and he came out.
Yeah, but we're talking about the game though after that when he had to go into play.
That was after Jimmy got hurt.
Yeah,
Brissett had to come in, and
but
then
Martellus Bennett came out and said that Jimmy Garoppolo could have easily played that game.
Martellus Bennett also films himself playing with nunchucks and doing karate. So like. I love Martellus, which I love. Check him out. Check out the nunchucks. He's actually like a kung fu guy. It's like Bruce Lee.
There's tons of it. He has it all over his Instagram.
He does and he just films himself, which is wild. But anyway, I feel like Jimmy G would be Jimmy G's going to go to the Raiders, so I think he'll be there.
I don't think
if you pay Carr $40 million, what's Jimmy G worth?
Less.
What? How?
Carr's on the field.
Carr got benched and was on the bench.
But that was all based upon his contract. Because if he got hurt, they had to guarantee him the next year of his contract.
No,
so
it's because he
if he had an injury clause in there that if he got hurt last year and he was out, then this year would have been the rest of his contract would have been fully guaranteed. So that's why they took him out.
How about crazy man Aaron Rodgers? You want him?
Oh, no.
Jets.
No.
Send
you
him
want him to go to the Jets?
Yeah.
You
Let's
want
send him to New York. Let's go.
Yeah. He left. You see, he left the retreat.
First of all,
they called it like a Hobbit home or something like that. He was in a Hobbit home.
I wouldn't do well in a retreat. I wouldn't do well in darkness for 4 days.
Oh shit!
What would you do?
No, what the fuck would you go to darkness for 4 days?
I don't know. I would have a hard time.
My thing is, he said he was going into his retreat into darkness to figure out what he was going to do with his life. It's been 2 weeks since he's emerged, and he hasn't said what he's going to do.
How is it difficult to figure out what you're going to do with your life? You've made like $250 million in your career.
Well, it's just
what's so hard about your life right now that you need to retreat?
Bullshit. Like what's he debating between playing another season for $55 million or not?
Let me tell you this: the guy in Green Bay that's like making the cheeseheads in the factory that's making $50,000 a year, doesn't give a shit about how difficult it is for you to make a decision on if you want to be there or not. Just shut up.
Diehard people there.
Go play football. If you don't want to play here, just say I don't want to be in Green Bay anymore.
I don't think Green Bay wants him.
I don't think they do either. He's a kook.
Well, I mean, with Green Bay, though, you have to make a decision now in Jordan Love, so you have to see
Jordan Love is their first-round pick. He's going to be there. He's going to be their starter this year.
I know, but you have to see that. So you have to move on
this
from
is his
Aaron
fourth
Rodgers.
season after
I hope
being
he goes
drafted.
to the Jets because the Jets will trade for him. They'll give up like 3 first-round picks for him.
Yeah, they're going to
pay him all the money.
Yep.
They'll have to release a couple players to pay him the money, and then he's going to go wacko in New York. There's play ayahuasca places in New York, right? He can get some enemas and bloodletting.
How come
plenty of places in New York for that?
How come people get kooky at the end of their career?
I wonder.
Head trauma. I think it's head trauma.
Do you think he'll sleep with the rats in New York?
Oh, I found this rat in New York. It's a pet. It's a nice
Just imagine
pet.
with a press conference, it'd just be like the rat just like walking all over him and everything. Say it's his new buddy. Met him in a darkness retreat in a New York City subway.
New York.
Serious rats, though.
Imagine him on the subway.
Every week
If you saw Aaron Rodgers on the subway, wouldn't you just kind of like step away, like you'd be afraid he'd push you in front of a train?
No, Aaron Rodgers looks like when he had the hair slicked back.
Yeah.
Question is, do you want to have a beer with Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't.
Do you want to hang out?
I don't. really want to have a beer with him. I feel like he would talk to me about like his hemp sweater or something. Like I just be
That's
like,
what it would be.
Deep talk
his car that runs on cooking oil or something. Deep thoughts with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
it's a good podcast.
I don't see the benefit. If you're the Jets, I get it. Like you have this team, a great defense. You're trying to take advantage of the opportunity to go and win a Super Bowl. I just don't see. I would say this on Aaron Rodgers. He did win a Super Bowl with a top 5 defense once, and he's never had it again. So if he has a defense, maybe he has a chance. But I also think last year I saw like just not the same guy. Like he just doesn't
he
look,
wasn't the same.
His body is not is not as thick as he used to be. I guarantee if he's doing his darkness retreats, he's not putting a bar on his back and squatting like he was when he was 25.
That's what I mean. In the off season, and you're just getting enemas and bloodletting.
Like
and
he
all
doesn't
that
even
stuff,
look like
you're
he
not
lifts.
working out.
Like guys that you used to see quarterbacks, they were like big physical looking guys. Yeah. Like he doesn't look that anymore. No. I mean, Tom wears thigh boards because his legs are so skinny. Like he has to wear thigh boards. It's insane how skinny his legs were. But I'm saying as you get older, you can't do the same stuff. I understand that, but I also think that these guys rely on like their arm strength and.
Well, he relied on the escapability and the being.
And he was fast. He was very fast, very elusive, very quick. Like, but at this point, if I was the Jets, I wouldn't be willing to give up like 3 firsts.
But you're gonna have to give 3 firsts for Russell Wilson. I mean, the price has been set.
And Russell Wilson is.
But the problem with the Jets, though, is because of the media market they're in, they have to make a move like that. So they have to get Lamar Jackson. They have to get Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think they would have been fine if they got Carr. They would have been better off signing Carr than trade for Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. Time will tell.
If you just have to sign Derek Carr, right? What's the worst case scenario? He doesn't do well, and then you still have these draft picks to go draft another quarterback.
But you still
if you trade your whole future,
but you lose $100 million in cap space.
You lose it with Aaron Rodgers though too.
No, you don't, because you don't have to sign him to a long-term contract.
He has a monster contract.
He has 1 year, $50 million. He doesn't have like a 4-year.
But if you give up 3 first-round picks, you have to sign him to an extension when you trade for him. You don't
have to.
Do you give up 3 first-round picks for nothing to then be 1 year after that?
Yeah, if you think that you can get a Super Bowl in this 1 year, like these owners think, if we can go get a Super Bowl right now, I'll sign him, trade him, give him a 1-year extension, not a long-term deal, because he's not going to play 5 more years, right? He's 40 years old.
You can make a playoff run with Aaron Rodgers.
You can make a playoff run.
You can definitely do it with him.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers puts the Jets over the top, though.
But you think Mac Jones puts the Patriots over the top?
No, I think their defense will.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Aaron Rodgers playing the Jets right now, playing the Pats. It'd be a game.
Yeah.
If it might be.
It'd be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends
Offense,
what the Patriots
power,
do.
Score, defense, Jets.
He's got wide receivers.
Good, young.
They always get D linemen.
Offensive line, they got that big monster coming back, the tackle that was hurt last year. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see what the Patriots do in the offseason.
So what are the Patriots going to do?
We're going to dive into that. We're going to take a break. I want to thank Brendan for coming out and going through the whiskey with us. It was amazing. We're going to take a quick break. I have to go to the bathroom.
Again?
Yeah. Okay. I'm hydrating. Trying to hydrate. Look at all this water. And it's hot as hell in here right now. Maybe it's the whiskey. Probably. But thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And then
Appreciate
after
it.
We're going to dive into the Patriots because I know you love them like so much.
You should.
Not because you're providing them cars to drive. But anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
It's only one.
What's up, everybody? Dan and Ninko Show here. I'm Ninko. That's Dan. You're tuning in. You're watching the pod. You hit that subscribe button. We just did a review of some whiskey, and we got more to come.
And we talked about some Patriots future. Lamar Jackson. So hit the subscribe button to check it out.
These aren't Oakleys. These are Battle Visions. You can get them at Walgreens. So we're back after the break. We're cooled off. It's hot in here. Again, good stuff.
Yeah, Powers whiskey was good.
Yeah, really good.
I've never had it before, and I know you said you never had it before.
I haven't.
Definitely
I haven't at all. I wanted to ask him, like, what's the difference between like good Irish whiskey and like what's Conor McGregor's like
proper 12?
Yeah, like proper 12 is probably
proper 12
garbage.
and Jameson are on the
it's
same
probably
thing.
It's probably just like marketed and like he owns the little.
He sold it.
Did he sell the whole thing?
Yeah. So
Really?
he's on as a spokesperson now. Sold it for a lot of money. Like
yeah, of course
$300 million or something like that.
No.
Something huge.
I want to talk about the combine. Like we saw the combine. It just happened. Few things that I witnessed that I think are so stupid. Why do they have offensive linemen running 40-yard dashes? That'd be like having you run a 40. We know you'd hurt your hamstring.
Well, the one guy
pop something.
The one guy tore his Achilles, right? Or tore
I don't know.
his
Tore
ACL.
his ACL doing the field work stuff.
Yeah.
And then the one offensive lineman was running it, popped the tire, falls on the ground. Like, if you're that agent, you're like, oh, we're not getting drafted.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't even go to the combine anymore, though.
Well, if you're a top pick, you're not going to go because why would you go and risk yourself? But if you're a guy that's going to be a 5th round pick and you go run a 4.3 whatever as a 260-pound defensive end, you can get drafted higher. But I just think that the whole process, don't they realize that guys are drafted off of their 40 times and then they realize afterwards, like, oh, shit, that guy can't play football?
Yeah.
Why not just put the tape on? Can he play? Can he not play? Is he good in space? Like, does he tackle well? All the stuff that they do, it's like ancient. Like they're on the L drill, the 5-10-5, the 40. Like it doesn't correlate to being a good football player. None of it does.
Yeah.
So like I just don't. It's just the wow factor. It's like hoard the cattle through the can. Like look at him. Oh wow, he's big and strong.
It's
like,
a marketing thing. They make a lot of money off the combine.
I know that's the only reason they do it.
See that Anthony Richardson though, 40.5 inch vertical leap.
What is it?
40.5 inch.
I mean, I had a 34.5. That's not, it's only like 6 inches more.
He's a quarterback.
How big is he?
6'5", I think is what he
6'5". That's a pretty big quarterback.
I think he was like 260.
That's pretty. No, 260.
I'm almost positive.
260.
I think it's 240.
I thought it was
240.
260.
260 is big.
No, he ain't 260.
What's Hurts?
Hurts is tiny.
That's my nephew Cameron. If you can't see him, Jalen Hurts is a big dude. He's pretty strong. But we dove a little bit into the Patriots stuff last. We were talking about the bourbons, but what do you think the biggest need for the Patriots is right now?
He was 250 pounds.
250?
Yeah.
I like that. That dude's. And he was throwing the ball like 70 yards.
4.43, 40-yard dash.
He ran a 4.43
Yep.
at 250?
Yeah. 1.53 10-yard split. And then the 40.5 inch vertical, and then a 10.9 broad jump.
Guy's impressive.
Yeah. Supposedly he wowed everybody too with his interviews when they was like breaking down plays and stuff like that. That he was.
Let's go, Pats. Let's go get him.
He won 5 games at Florida.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's the tough thing with the combine is that the combine
Somebody's gonna draft them high.
combine can make or break you, and it doesn't really mean too much until you get in.
No, doesn't mean anything.
So what do you want to get into the Patriots?
Yeah, I wanted to know, what do you think their number one, I guess, target should be going into the draft, or free
Left
agency? Tackle number one.
Yeah. Well, I think in a draft you should draft a tackle.
Do you think you should draft? See, I think I see that they should try and draft young in the skill position, like a receiver, somebody that could be a number one target, and then hope that, like, they already picked a freaking number one offensive lineman. Like, drafting a guard or a tackle in the first round.
Well, tackle's a big deal. I mean,
Tackle is a big deal. I agree with
like
you.
Orlando Brown's going to get huge money, and he's a good left tackle, but he's not like the top echelon of left tackles.
If you're
That's
gonna
what's
if you're gonna
available.
draft somebody high, I'd rather like a game breaker, like a guy that's gonna go catch a
But you have a pocket quarterback that you're building around. So
potentially a pocket
a left
quarterback.
tackle. Yeah, a left tackle is.
I think it's up in the air who's
The most
starting.
important
I think
thing.
it's up in the air with who the starting quarterback is. I really
Wait, think
do.
him or Zappy?
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
I think it's wide
Maybe
open.
Zappy.
I think it's a wide open race.
I don't think it is at all.
I think 100% it is.
They
Why
would have
wouldn't
put
it be?
Zappy in last year then.
If Zappy, because it was Mac's second year after a Pro Bowl season. He had a bad year, down year. It's going to be wide open. I
So
guarantee coming in
you don't
with
have-
Billy O. Billy's going to say, I don't give a shit where you're drafted, who you're at. Like, I'm going to put in the offense. I'm going to put the best guy in. So you either impress me, you win me over, you throw good balls, you lead the team. And if Zappy's better in all those categories, he's better, they're going to start him. I'm telling you.
Jason La Confora just reported that the Patriots are talking internally and possibly reaching out to Lamar Jackson.
That's big news. Bring him. Bring him over.
Why, you're going to pay him $250?
I wouldn't.
No. What are you going to pay him?
You'd have to pay him 5-year $250. If Danny
You
Dimes
wouldn't pay Tom Brady, but you're going to pay Lamar? Like, come on.
I don't agree with it, but I'm just telling you, don't shoot the messenger. No, but you didn't hear what Robert Kraft said about Mac Jones?
He's not going to want to come here. Lamar's not going to want to come.
Did you hear what Kraft said about Mac Jones?
What do you say?
That he's going to be the starting quarterback this year, that he's the future of the franchise?
Why would you give the week 1 team a chance to prepare for Zappy?
You think Robert Kraft is thinking about that?
I don't think Robert Kraft I think Robert Kraft knows who the starter was last year, so now he's going to go into the offseason saying Mac's the starter. He's the starter, but nobody knows who the starter is.
Do you think they had to teach him multiple times in a row now? Like, okay, his name is Mac Jones. Mac Jones.
What was his name? McCorkle?
Yeah, McCorkle. It's his middle name. Michael McCorkle Jones is his name.
Oh, it's Michael McCorkle?
Yeah.
I thought it was McCorkle Jones. Like, who the hell would do that to their son? McCorkle.
Michael
You would
McCorkle.
like McCorkle. You wanted to name me Frank. Frankie Ninkovich.
That'd be a nice one, actually.
Frankie or Bronco. Those were the
Could
two
have been
names.
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. Yeah, that would have been great in high school when Old School came out and Frank was Frank the Tank. My whole life would have been changed. I wouldn't have made it.
You were always a little thick.
Yeah, I was a little chubby. I've always been chubby my whole life.
So you think they're gonna go, which they've had zero success with in drafting a wide receiver. You think they're gonna go get a wide receiver in the first round?
I think they should. I think that'd be a smart thing to do.
The problem with the wide receivers is I don't know if there's one that's like that great, like or like appears to be as good as like last year's wide receivers that came out or the year before that. Because there's a lot of the kid from Ohio State. There's a lot like his 40 times were terrible. His shuttle time was terrible.
But a 40 time though is so like you could be tight or you could just run stiff. The moment could slow you down.
There's a lot of them but the thing is, there's not like that. I don't know. There's not that big time like.
But DK wasn't a big time. DK Metcalf was not a big time.
He went in the second round though.
That's what I'm saying. You can find.
Yeah, but I mean, for every DK Metcalf that you draft in the second round, you draft 10
Harrys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they missed.
Yeah. The only team that can actually draft wide receivers well is the Pittsburgh Steelers. You should go steal their.
Jets have a couple.
I think the Jets have got lucky recently with it, but the Steelers they find wide receivers like nobody's business in the draft. It's just one after another after another after another. I think you go steal whoever's scouting their wide receivers. You go take that guy and hire him.
How many more years do you think Bill's going to coach?
3.
3 more years. He's going to be 73.
Yeah, he'll break the record.
Oh, he needs to break the record. And so you think he's going?
He's
for
not going to stop. He's not going to retire not breaking the record.
How many more wins does he need?
It's like 16 or 17, I think.
16?
17 maybe. Hold on.
I think 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 3 to be safe.
Go 500.
So I said this before. After Tom, it would be really tough to be the guy after the guy. You think it would be really tough for whoever's the head coach after Bill?
It's going to be Gerard Mayo.
Well, I'm saying, would it be tough? Whoever it is, would it be tough?
18 wins.
He needs 18?
18 wins.
Oh, I don't know. That might be 4 years.
No, it'll be 3 years.
You think he'll get it done in 3 years?
That's 6 wins a season.
No, what I'm saying, like, what if this year they go like, do you think Kraft would keep Bill around 3 more years if they won 6 games?
Yeah.
Like after not making the playoffs since Tom, being mediocre, barely, getting anything done last year.
You say it all the time. It's a business, so it's a business.
I don't think fans
it's
really
a big
care.
deal.
I think this year, if the Patriots aren't competitive,
your TV revenue becomes huge. The year he's going to break it, right? Like the year he's going to, every one of their games is going to be like a primetime game.
Like you can't, like the owner shouldn't put like that record over like the team actually making a playoff
run. Business. But you got to assume they're going to bring back pretty much the same team. Their top free agents that possibly could leave, right, are Jacoby Myers and Jonathan Jones. Those are their top 2. So they're bringing back pretty much the same team they had last year. Plus, they have like $40 million in cap space and all these draft picks. So they're going to be better than last year.
Who wins the division next year?
Not the Bills.
Not the Bills?
The Bills lose too much on defense. They're going to lose Poyer. They're going to lose Edmonds. Diggs just put out something today that he kind of wants out. There was a cryptic tweet that he put out.
Oh, the cryptic tweets. I love those.
But when he left the field at the end of the last game and all that, I mean, if they lose Diggs, they're screwed.
He's going to Dallas.
I would.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's going to Dallas. He'll go with his brother, and
I think if you're a free agent, you don't. If you're a free agent, you want to save.
You think Von Miller's going to be that great for the Bills coming back from his?
He's going to be. He's done. The second he signed his contract, I was like, well.
But losing Edmonds is their best linebacker, and Poyer's their best DB. They're going to lose both of those off that defense.
Yeah, they're gone.
So it'll be down between, and then the Dolphins are the wild card, right? Because if Tua can't come back, which I don't think he's going to be able to, they're out unless they do something drastic at quarterback. So it leaves two.
Jets.
The Jets or the Patriots.
They don't have a quarterback.
The Jets, yeah, but I mean they can get a quarterback if they go into the Lamar
If the Jets
sweepstakes.
get Aaron Rodgers, they're automatically like favored to win.
They'll be favored to win because of the name Aaron Rodgers, but I think that's the worst move they could make at quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. That's the worst they could make.
You think Jimmy G would be a better choice?
Jimmy G would be a better choice because you're going to pay him $25 million, but you don't have to give up anything.
I think you got to pay him. If you're paying all these other guys $50 million,
okay, so you give him
it'd be
$30
a wonderful thing. What if you're a quarterback and you're mediocre? You're just like, well,
Carson Wentz made $30 million last year.
It's ridiculous.
Off that one season.
Sickening.
But I don't know. The Jets will screw it up. They always screw it up. When did the Jets not screw it up?
I don't know. Bill was hired as their head coach and quit the same day.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Hey,
A couple hours later.
guess what?
What?
Black Wing's in, and it's definitely not
The white?
It's not
definitely
white. What do you think
Send
it
me
is?
the
What
picture.
color do you think
White.
it is?
It's a little off-white.
Yeah, it's like a cream.
Cabinets.
It's like our kitchen cabinets.
I mean, off.
Not white, they're a little off-white.
Eggshell.
It's not eggshell. It's a gray white. Or it's okay.
Well,
Maybe it's a little white. It's a little gray. It's the
It's
lighting.
not gray. It's white.
Whatever.
If you had to pick a color, you would say it's white.
That's because all the film they put on with all the bubbles underneath.
It looks like you got a matching card of Paige's Escalade. Same color.
It's a little off. I'll take picture. We'll compare. We'll compare.
It's quite a fine machine.
Thank you. Oh, he wants to buy a truck.
Yeah.
Not on the air. I'm driving a 16-year-old truck.
Not on the air. Private. We'll talk about it later.
You leave everything open there.
That's it.
So what do you think the Patriots are going to do? Like, what do you think their splash move will be?
Well, if they're talking to Lamar, that's already a splash. I think that they go in free agency and they sign somebody other than Lamar. I think they're going to go and get somebody, maybe a veteran receiver, something in the offense.
Well,
to help.
there's nobody really in free agency.
Is there not? There's no free agent receiver or trade. They could trade for a receiver.
Yeah. Trade.
I could see them trading for a receiver.
Well, I guess now there's Robert Woods available. He got released. The Titans released like everybody. There was Derrick Henry, Taylor Lewan,
What if
Woods.
they got Derrick Henry? Bill would
I know.
love Derrick Henry.
I know. That's
He
what I
would
think.
love a big bruising back.
But imagine putting him with Ramondre.
Oh, 1-2?
Yeah,
That'd be insane.
That'd be good.
That'd be good.
And you can get a running back for like $10 million.
Stevenson. What if you had Stevenson and you got Henry,
Yeah.
right? And Lamar.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Like handoff, quarterback.
But then you could also like trade for Hopkins or something like that too.
All right. Well,
Because the Cardinals only it's going to take a second or third round pick to get Hopkins. And he's not. He's making like $16 million.
I feel like Bill's got to make some moves. I mean, if he only has 3 years left, he's going to have to go big on after. He's going to go after it.
See, I think in that offseason,
If you go in and get Lamar, what do you do with Mac? You trade him?
well, you would trade him because you'd get like a first round pick back, and then you'd have to give up 2 first round picks to Baltimore if you sign.
Yeah, you'd
Lamar.
have to give up 2.
So you give up You would trade Mac now.
Would you give Mac to the Ravens?
Well, that's the thing is they could work a deal out where they give him Mac and a first-round pick to get
They
Lamar.
probably want 2 and Mac. I would want 2
But
first and
you
Mac.
get 2 if you sign him, and then you don't sign him with the offer sheet. That's the deal.
You have to get 2.
Yeah, but unless you work out a trade before that. But
stays healthy, Bill will get to the promised land.
Yeah, if Lamar stays healthy, I mean, you with their defense and Billy O in there, I mean, they'd be a Super Bowl contender immediately.
Yes.
In honor of Lamar.
The whole scheme would change.
Yeah, but they can adapt to that
Let's go
scheme
get
though,
Lamar,
because
man.
just think about it right now, right? You don't have nobody really committed on your tackles, so you can change that whole aspect.
Yeah.
You know, your wide receivers are not like big time skill players right now, but they kind of fit what you would do with Lamar, I think. And then you have 2 tight ends.
I would love to see Lamar on the side. That'd be freaking exciting. I know Everett would be excited.
Well, the thing is, like,
all the kids around here would go nuts.
If you're talking about a business play, right? Isn't that the biggest business play? Because the Patriots become so relevant. Like,
bang.
Yeah. Like, that would be the...
I mean, you make back your $200 million.
I think the better play, if you wanted to move on from Mac, I think the better play would be trading Mac, getting that first-round pick, packaging your 2 first-round picks, go up and get Anthony Richardson.
What about Rodgers?
No.
Ugh. I don't want that kook.
No Rodgers.
No Rodgers here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could go get like C.J. Stroud or something like that in the draft. I wouldn't get...
He throws that rocket football. He's great.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, Billy O and Bill, I think, could come up with a really good scheme for him.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree. The only thing I'd be concerned about is
it's the health of it.
the health. Yeah.
But
and the turf in New England's like the worst thing. And also, if you're Lamar, if you're going to get a fully guaranteed contract in Massachusetts, if you want to compete in Mass now with this mass tax, like the millionaire tax, you're going to have to pay 5% more.
But so is New York, though. New York is even bigger.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're gonna everyone who has that tax, the millionaire tax, is gonna have to pay their athletes more money if they want to compete with Miami or anywhere else where there's no income tax.
Yeah.
They're gonna make all that money there. You have to go up 5% on your contract to even it out to where you're making the same exact dollar for dollar amount than if you were somewhere else.
But if you're Lamar, though, you also have to look at, okay, if I take a 5% haircut because of the tax, can I make more money in a market where football is so big like that, Texas? And what it would be?
I mean, if he was in, if the Texans gave him that money,
no, I don't think it would be the same thing because the Texans are they're just irrelevant.
In general.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
Miami,
you have to look at the
if he was in
teams.
Miami, but if they were out,
yeah, but they already said they're out. That's what I'm saying.
Tampa.
I don't know because isn't that irrelevant? Because what's he going to do with what's left there?
I don't know.
Like, you got to look at the teams that you know are. If you consider the Patriots didn't make the playoffs last year or didn't do well in the playoffs, that it was Mac Jones was the reason. And if that's your thought process, then Lamar Jackson is that much higher than Mac Jones.
Bill
what does it bring you?
Had Tom for 20 years and Mac and just wants and when he watches those other teams, that's why he brought Cam in, an old Cam.
I know.
But he watches those other teams that have an athletic quarterback that can scramble and run. He's like, I like that.
But that's
especially when you play against them, and Lamar this year kicked your ass and ran all over you.
Well, people talk about that Bill doesn't want to bring in a mobile quarterback because he likes the old way. I don't think that's legit. I don't think that is because he brought Cam in.
He brought
that was the first quarterback he brings
likes
in after
that,
Brady.
and that's why when we were playing defense and he'd coach us, I feel like he liked that challenge of having an athletic guy. I think he'd love it. I really do.
I mean, they have the ability to do it. They have the cap space to go do it. They're one of the few teams that could. It's really like them, the Falcons, which we already said they're out. The Bears could, but will they move on from Fields that quick?
I don't think so.
And especially where Fields could kind of be a Lamar. I mean, Fields had some big games and everything last year. Could he be? Yeah.
Because he keeps running, he's going to get killed.
Yeah. But Lamar it would be exciting.
Oh, Brien was with Mac at Bama, though.
No. He came in the year that Mac got drafted, but Mac worked with him and showed him how the playbook was different with Alabama and taught him the terminology and everything. But they didn't play. He didn't play for him. But what do you think about Bryce Young though, measuring at 5'10"?
He's 5'9".
Yeah, no, he measured at 5'10". He's tiny.
I was 6'3".
He was listed at 6 foot though.
He's too little.
The
He's petite.
Yeah.
He's petite. Yeah. I wouldn't.
He's gonna be like the number 1 pick, number 2 pick.
Whoever picks him, they're gonna be idiots.
The Texans.
Yeah.
They'll end up with him.
All right. Well.
The other thing is the Jacoby Myers thing. You see that?
I almost wrapped this up, and then you're coming in.
This is
Jacoby.
This is what
you're not
going to
pay him $20 million.
I know, but that's what they're saying. He's going to get 15 to 20 million.
You can go find another Jacoby for $20 million.
I don't think you sign him to really anything. I think he's a good player.
Yeah,
but do you want? He's like on a lot of teams that he was the number 1 receiver on the Patriots, right? Because that's all they had. But if he goes to most teams, he's like a number 2, number 3.
No, you're not paying him $20 million. It's a typical guy that's going to be taking advantage of a great opportunity to be a free agent. But if you're another team, you don't lock $20 million into Myers. He's a great player. He's a hard-working, one of those guys, the mortar guy. But
yeah,
he's not like a game changer.
Yeah,
You
think Dev's coming back?
Yes,
I'm fairly confident Dev is coming
100%. Back. For $9 or $10 million, why not?
It's not gonna be that much.
It'll be enough.
Be $6 million.
It'll be enough.
$6 million.
Yeah, that's.
But he's 100% coming back.
100%.
Slate's back?
Yeah, Slate's back.
Are those the last 2 guys?
Yeah, technically, I guess you could say
David.
Andrews is.
David. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say Cardona technically.
Kinda, but he's a snapper.
I know, but I'm just saying.
From that
team. Yeah, that's really it.
3 guys. That's crazy. Turnover, man.
Yeah, but when you got there, it was the turnover from the first time.
I know.
Was gone.
It's insane.
That's
just the way it is.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
have
NFL.
to turn it
There's
over.
always turnover constantly.
Yeah, they just got lucky that Brady lasted that whole way.
Very, very lucky. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Dan and Ninko Show here. I'm Ninko. That's Dan. You're tuning in. You're watching the pod. To hit that subscribe button. We just did a review of some whiskey, and we got more to come.
And we talked about some Patriots future. Lamar Jackson. So hit the subscribe button to check it out.
These aren't Oakleys. These are Battle Visions. From you can get them at Walgreens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time for my nap from my whiskey.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guess what? Tune in next week. We're gonna do the Cater fight. Actually, you have to text. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out from Dana. But thanks for tuning in. Get yourself some Irish whiskey.
We're gonna have more Irish whiskey next week too.
St. Patty's.
Well, on Wednesday they're gonna come with all this stuff.
Day. You like St. Patty's?
Yeah, I'm Irish.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what the real part of what St. Patrick's Day really is?
What is it?
You don't know?
No.
He whistled the
Well,
snakes out of town.
Yeah, but it's the snake. It's the snakes. There was never any snakes in Ireland, so he's credited with removing the snakes from Ireland. But the snakes were pagans. He removed paganism from Ireland and brought
And when the people drank
Catholicism.
whiskey, they saw snakes.
Yeah. No, it's because they were in Roman times. The people that were called serpents.
Oh, the serpents.
It was a serpent religion.
All right.
And then he forced that religion out and brought Catholicism there.
No?
That's what St. Patrick's Day is.
I have one comment. If you want rosy red cheeks like these 2 men, drink.
My
Yeah.
head. I don't have rosy red.
Cheeks are red, man.
Yeah.
It's hot in here. It's 90 degrees.
No, it's good.
90 degrees.
Good for the soul to get warm.
Rosy
The stuff is
red.
actually really good though.
It's good.
It was
I love it.
surprising.
All right.
I'm very shocked.
That's it. All right, Pop. Let's drink a bottle.
Yeah. But we'll see you guys next week. Check us out on danandninko.com, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. See you next week.
See you guys.